No, he's too heavy for me. You go outside and push, and I stay here at the door. And together, we get the doctor bang him out.
I'll go around. I'll take a look around the house. Then when I tap on the glass, you open the window.
Oh, it's really dark in here. Johnny? Okay. Alley-oop. Oh, Johnny. Oh, you are fat. Okay, now I can count. Oh, Johnny, that was me. I slipped. Primo, careful. What are you doing, Mom? Johnny, somebody at the door. Go quick. Oh, gosh.
Miss Abby! Miss Martha! Who is it? Is that you, Teddy? Oh, who are you?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Elaine Harper. I live next door.
Then what are you doing here?
Well, I came over to see Miss Abby and Miss Martha.
You've chosen a rather untimely moment for a social call.
Well, I think you'd better explain what you're doing here.
We happen to live.
You don't live in this house and we'll separate you like that. Where are Miss Abby and Miss Martha and what have you done with them?
Perhaps we'd better introduce ourselves. This is Dr. Einstein,
Dr. Einstein?
a surgeon of great distinction and something of a magician.
And I suppose you're going to tell me your yours.
I'm Jonathan Brewster.
Oh.
I see you've heard of me.
Just this afternoon for the very first time.
And what did they say about me?
Oh, nothing. Just that there was another brother named Jonathan. Well, that's all that was said. Well, that explains everything. Now that I know who you are, I'll just be running along home. If you'll kindly unlock the door.
That explains everything. And just what do you mean by that? Why did you come here this time of night?
Oh, I thought I saw someone prowling around the house. I suppose it was you.
You thought you saw someone prowling around the house.
Yes, someone walking outside. Isn't that your car?
You saw someone at the car?
Yes.
What else did you see?
Oh, just that. I just saw someone walking around the house in the car.
What else did you see?
Just that, that's all. I came over to tell Miss Abby to call the police, but if that was you and that was your car, then I don't want to bother Miss Abby, and I'll just be running along home.
What was the man doing at the car?
I don't know. You see, I was on my way over here.
I think you were lying.
No, I think she's the truth, Johnny. We let her go now, huh?
I think she's lying. Breaking into a house this time of night, I think she's dangerous. She shouldn't be allowed around loose.
Take your hands off of me!
Doctor!
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, tell these men who I am!
Oh, that's my daughter, Alice.
No, Teddy!
Doctor, you're hungry. The cellar!
What's the matter? Who's down there? What's the matter? What are you doing?
We caught a burglar, a sneak thief.
Oh, we'll call the police.
We've already called the police. Go back to bed.
Mortimer!
should have known better. Go on. My God, I'm still there.
Mortimer, this is your brother Jonathan, and this is Dr. Einstein.
I know this isn't a nightmare, but what is it?
I've come back home, Mortimer.
Who did you say this was?
It's your brother Jonathan, dear. He's had his face changed, and Dr. Einstein is the one who performed the operation.
Jonathan? Jonathan. You always were a whore, but do you have to look like one?
Easy.
Do you remember the things I used to do to you when we were boys? Remember the time you were tied to that bedpost? Needles under your fingernails?
God, it is Jonathan. Oh, yes. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous form of animal life I ever knew.
Ooh, let's not start quarreling right when we just met each other.
There won't be any fight, Aunt Abby. Jonathan, you're not welcome here. Get out.
We've been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Just for tonight.
I don't want him anywhere near me.
Well, we told them they could stay, and it would be very nice if we went back on our work.
All right, fine. Tonight. But first thing in the morning, you're out. Where are they sleeping?
Oh, in Jonathan's old room.
That's my old room. I'm sleeping in that room. I'm here to stay.
Oh, Mortimer, I'm so glad.
Johnny, we sleep down here.
You bet your life you sleep down there.
Johnny, you sleep on the sofa, and I sleep on the window seat.
Oh, the window seat! Oh, wait, let's not argue about it, huh? Oh, I'll sleep on the window seat tonight. The window seat is fine by me. Oh,
Johnny, all this argument makes me think of Mr. Spinoza.
Spinoza! Mortimer. It really isn't our place to inconvenience you like this. We'll sleep down here.
Jonathan, your sudden consideration for me is very unconvincing.
Johnny, come along. We'll get the things from the room, eh?
Oh, don't bother, Doctor.
Doctor, I've completely lost track of Mr. Spinoza.
Who's this Mr. Spinoza?
Just a friend of ours Johnny's been looking for.
Well, don't bring anybody else in here.
It's all right. While we pack, I'll tell you all about it.
Mortimer, you don't have to sleep down here. I will sleep in Aunt Martha's room.
It's all right, Aunt Abby. We'll be packed in a few minutes, then Mortimer, you can have the room.
Well, you know, you're just wasting your time. I told you I'm sleeping down here.
Mortimer,
Oh, what's the matter with you, dear?
I've almost been killed.
Abby, Martha!
No, it was Jonathan. He mistook her for a sneak thief.
No, it was more than that. Oh, Mortimer, I'm afraid of him. He's a maniac.
My darling, you're trembling. Have you got any smelling salts?
No, but do you think some hot tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee. Oh, and make some for me, too. Oh, and some sandwiches. I haven't had any dinner.
I'll make something for the both of you.
You were going out somewhere, were you? Do you know what time it is? It's after 12. 12? Elaine, look! You've got to go home!
What? Oh, you wanted sandwiches for you both. I'll go make some. Oh, well, don't you remember? We wanted to celebrate your engagement. Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll make a nice supper for the both of you, and we'll open a bottle of wine.
Oh, no wine! No wine!
Mortimer, what is going on in this house?
What do you mean? What's going on in this house?
Well, you were supposed to take me to dinner at the theater tonight. You called it off. You proposed to me. I said yes, and not 5 minutes later, you threw me out of the house. Tonight, after your brother nearly strangles me, you're trying to chase me home. Now, Mortimer, before I go, I need to know where I stand. Do you love me?
I love you very much, Elaine. In fact, I love you so much that I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
No, but it's only a matter of time. You see, the madness runs in my family. practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you, dear.
Well, you're going to have to do better than that.
No, dear. There's a strange taint in the Brewster blood. It's hard to explain, but, well, if you really knew my family, it's what you'd expect if Stringbird had written Hills of Poppin'.
Well, now, just because Teddy's a little...
Oh, no. The whole family. Go way back to the first Brewster. The one that came over here on the Mayflower. You know in those days how the Indians used to scout the settlers? Well, he used to scout the Indians.
That's ancient history.
No. Whole family. Oh, take my grandfather, for example. He tried his patent medicines out on dead people to make sure that it wouldn't kill them.
So crazy. I mean, he made $1 million.
Oh, and then there's Jonathan. You just met Jonathan. You said he was a maniac. He tried to kill you.
Well, he isn't you. I'm in love with you.
Oh, and then there's Teddy. You know Teddy. He thinks he's Roosevelt. No, dear, no Brewster should ever marry. I realize now that if I'd met my father, I would have stopped him in time.
Well, Mortimer, none of this proves that you're crazy. What about your aunts? They're Brewsters, aren't they? And the sanest, sweetest people I've ever met.
Oh, yes, even they have their peculiarities.
Yes, but wonderful peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy. Well, of course, Mortimer, there are plenty of others. You can't tell me anything about your aunt.
Oh, and I'm not going to. Now, look, Lane, you've got to go home. Something has just come up.
Go up from where? We're alone here together.
I know I'm acting irrationally, but just put it down to the fact that I'm a mad Brewster.
Listen, if you think you're going to get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. You may not marry me, Mortimer Brewster, but I'm going to marry you. I love you, you dope.
Well, if you love me so much, we can get the hell out of here.
Mortimer, will you at least take me home? I'm afraid.
Afraid of what? What, a little walk through the cemetery?
Will you at least kiss me goodnight?
Of course, dear. All right, good night. I'll call you up in a day or two.
You critic!
Aunt Abby! Aunt Martha, come in here!
We'll be in a minute, dear.
Come in here now!
Yes, dear, what is it? Oh, where's Elaine?
I thought you promised me that you wouldn't let anyone in this house while I was gone.
Well, Jonathan
I don't mean Jonathan.
and Dr. Rice.
I don't mean Dr. Einstein. Who's that in the window seat?
We told you, dear, Mr. Hoskins.
That is not Mr. Hoskins.
Who could that be?
Are you trying to tell me that you've never seen that man before?
Well, I certainly am. Well, this is a fine how do you do. It's getting so anybody can just walk in this house.
Don't you try and get out of this, Aunt Abby. That's another one of your gentlemen.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? That man's an imposter. And if he thinks he's going to be buried in our cellar, he's mistaken.
An imposter? Aunt Abby, how can I believe you? You admit to me that you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did.
Well, this man couldn't have just got the idea from Mr. Hoskins. By the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, he must have gone to Panama. Oh, not yet. We're waiting for the funeral services. We haven't had a minute what with Jonathan in the house. We've always wanted to have a double funeral, but I will not read services over a total stranger.
Stranger? Aunt Abby, how can I believe you? There are 12 men down in that cellar, and you admit to me that you poisoned them.
Yes, I did. But you won't believe that I stooped to telling a fib. Martha!
Mortimer, I'd like to have a word with you.
Well, the word's about all I have time for, Jonathan, because I've decided that you and your doctor friend are going to have to get out of here. Now, I mean just as quickly as possible.
I'm glad to see the fact that we cannot live under the same roof, but you've arrived at the wrong conclusion. Take your suitcase and get out!
Jonathan, you're beginning to bore me. You've played your one-night stand in Brooklyn. Move on!
My dear Mortimer, just because you graduated from the back fence of the typewriter, don't think you've grown up. I'm staying, and you're leaving, and I mean now!
If you think I can be frightened, If you think there's anything I fear,
I've led a strange life, Mortimer, but it's taught me one thing: to be afraid of nothing.
Martha! Just look and see what's in the window seat!
Jonathan, show Aunt Martha what's under the window seat. I owe you an apology. I have very good news for you. Jonathan is leaving, and he's taking Dr. Einstein and their cold companion with them. Jonathan, you're my brother. You're a Brewster. I'm giving you a chance to get out of here now and take the evidence with you. You can't ask for more than that. All right? Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm going to call the police.
Don't reach for that telephone! Are you still trying to give me orders after seeing what's happened to Mr. Spinalzo?
Mr. Spinalzo! I knew he was a foreigner!
Remember, what happened to Mr. Spinalzo can happen to you, too.
Oh.
Hello, Miss Abby.
Hello, Officer O'Hara. Is there something we can do for you?
Oh, well, I saw your lights on. I thought there might be a sickness in the house. Oh, you got company. I'm sorry to disturb you. Oh, no, come right in. Come right in.
Yes, come right in, Officer O'Hara. This is our nephew, Mortimer.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
Please make your acquaintance. Well, it sure is nice having your nephews over. Are they going to stay with you for a bit? I'm staying. My brother Jonathan here is just leaving. Say, I've met you here before, haven't I?
I'm afraid not. Jonathan hasn't been home for years.
Maybe a picture I've seen you someplace.
I don't think so.
That's right, Jonathan. You better get going. Your things are all packed away, aren't they? Well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes. I'll be running along. Oh, what's the rush? I'd like you to stick around until my brother goes. Well, I only came in to make sure everything was okay. Oh, but we were about to have some coffee. Won't you join us?
I forgot the coffee! And I'll make some more sandwiches. I should know your appetite by now, Officer O'Hara.
Oh, don't bother, ma'am. I'm due to ring in a few minutes. Oh, well, you can have a cup of coffee with us. Come on. Here, sit down. Say, ain't I seen your brother around here before? I don't think so. He really does look familiar to me. Well, you might have seen a picture of him in a movie somewhere. Oh, I never go to the movies. I hate them. My mother told me that, and she was an actress. Oh, your mother said that? Yep, a stage actress. Perhaps you heard of her. Peaches Latour. Well, it sounds like a name I've heard in a program before. What did she play? Well, her big hit was Mud and Jeff. They played for 3 years. I was born third season. Oh, you were? Yep, Sioux City, Iowa. I was born at the end of the second act. My mother made the finale. Oh, what a trooper. I bet there's a story there in your mother. Oh, you know I write about the theater. Oh, you do? Say, you're not the Mortimer Brewster, the dramatic critic. Yes. Well, Mr. Brewster, you and me are on the same line of business. We are? Oh, yes, sir. I'm a playwright. All this being on the police force thing is just temporary. How long have you been on the force? 12 years. I gathered material for my play. Oh, I bet it's a honey. Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Brewster. All the drama I see being a cop, you ain't got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn. I think I have. Say, what time do you get? 10 after 1. Oh, gee, I gotta ring in. Oh, O'Hara! Hey, on that play of yours, I might be able to help you out. You would? Yeah. Say, it was my fate walking in here tonight. Oh, look, let me tell you the plot. Oh, you're leaving now, eh? Well, good, you haven't got much time, you know.
Well, everything's just about ready. Oh, you're leaving now, Jonathan? Well, goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Einstein. Oh, does this case belong to you?
Oh, That's right, Jonathan. You can't go without all of your things. Wait, look, O'Hara. It was great meeting you. We'll meet up sometime later. We'll talk about your play. Oh, I'm not leaving now, Mr. Brewster. Why not? You're gonna help me in my play. You and me are gonna write my play together. I can't do that, O'Hara. I'm not a creative writer. Oh, you don't have to do any creating, Mr. Brewster. You just put words into it. But O'Hara. Oh no, sir, Mr. Brewster. I'm not leaving this house till I tell you the plot.
In that case, Mortimer, we'll be leaving.
Don't you try that. You've got to take everything with you, you know? You say, look, O'Hara. O'Hara! Hey, get going. I'm my brother's cousin. Oh, I can wait. I've been waiting 12 years.
Oh, I'm sorry I was so long.
Oh, don't bring that in here. O'Hara, would you like to join us for a bite in the kitchen?
The kitchen? Jonathan's leaving. Oh, well, isn't that nice? Come along, Officer O'Hara. I hope you don't mind eating in the kitchen, Officer O'Hara. Well, it was nice seeing you again, Jonathan.
I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me a chance to kick you out. In the first one, I was your boyfriend, Mr. Spinalzo. Say, Mr. Brewster, we can talk in here. Yeah, I'm coming right out.
We might have known you grew up to write a play with the policeman.
Now get going, all three of you.
Johnny, your brother gives us a chance to get the way. What more could you ask?
You don't understand. This goes back a great many years.
Johnny.
Doctor. This is going to be settled.
No.
Look at you.
No, Johnny. We'll get to these bags somewhere, too. Where do they go?
Yes. No. Leave them here. Yes. We're not going anywhere. We're not going. Spinalzo. Spinalzo can go out the same way he came in. Take the bags down to the cellar. Move fast.
Hey, Johnny.
What's the matter?
You know that hole in the cellar?
Yes?
We got an ace in the hole. Come on, I show you.
Jonathan? Jonathan? Jonathan!
Yes, Mortimer?
B, I thought I told you to.
We're not.
Go. Oh, you're not? What do you think, I'm not serious? Do you want O'Hara to know what's in that window seat?
We're staying here.
All right, then. Don't say I didn't warn you. This gets me rid of you and O'Hara at the same time. Hey, O'Hara, come in here!
If you tell O'Hara what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's in the cellar.
The cellar!
Yes. There's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
What were you doing down in the cellar?
What's he doing in the cellar?
Never mind, I had plenty.
What are you gonna tell O'Hara now?
Say, Mr. Brewster, your aunts want to hear it too. Shall I get them in here? No, O'Hara. You can't do that. You've got to ring in. Oh, the hell with ringing in. I'll get your aunts in here and I'll tell you the plot. No, O'Hara. Not in front of all these people. How about we meet up someplace later? Someplace private. How about the back room at Kelly's? Fine. You go ring in, I'll meet you at Kelly's.
Why don't you two go down to the cellar?
The cellar? Is this it? No, you don't want to get out the cellar. Now, we'll go to Kelly's, all right? But first, you gotta ring in. Oh, well, that'll take a couple minutes. No, that's fine. I'll ditch this guy and I'll be back in 5 minutes. I expect to find you gone. Wait for me.
We'll wait, Doctor. I've waited a great many years for a chance like this.
Hey, Johnny, we got the right where we wanted. Did he look guilty?
Yes. Take the bags back up to the room, Doctor.
Have they gone? Oh! We thought we heard somebody leave.
Just Mortimer. I'll be back in a few minutes. Is there any food left in the kitchen? Dr. Einstein and I would enjoy a bite.
But you won't have time. No, if you're still here by the time Mortimer gets back, he won't like it.
He'll like it. He's gotta like it.
Get some food for me and Dr. Einstein while we bury Mr. Spinoza.
Oh, no. No, Jonathan, you're going to have to take Mr. Spinoza with you.
He has a friend of Mortimer's waiting for him downstairs.
A friend of Mortimer?
Yes, he and Mr. Spinoza will get along fine together. They're both dead.
They must mean Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins?
You know what's in the cellar.
Of course we do. And he's no friend of Mortimer's. He's one of our gentlemen.
You're a gentleman?
And we won't have strangers buried in our cellar.
But Mr. Hoskins,
Mr. Hoskins isn't a stranger. Besides, there's no room in the cellar. It's crowded already.
crowded with what?
Oh, there are 12 graves down there now.
12 graves?
Oh, yes. And that leaves very little room, and we are going to need it.
You mean you and Aunt Martha murdered?
Murder? Certainly not. It's one of our charities. Why, what we've been doing is out of mercy. So you just take your Mr. Spinazzo and get out of here.
You two have done all that in this house, and you've buried them down there.
Johnny, we've been chased all over the world, and you're on staying right there in Brooklyn and do just as good as you do.
What?
You've got 12, and they've got 12.
I've got 13.
No, Johnny, 12.
13. Mr. Spinazzo, the first in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Phoenix, Arizona,
Phoenix?
the filling station, 3 in Chicago, and 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
No, you can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
He wouldn't have got pneumonia if I wouldn't have shot him first.
No, Johnny, he died of pneumonia. He don't count.
He counts with me. I say 13.
No, Johnny, you've got 12, and they've got 12. Your ladies are just as good as you are.
That's easily taken care of. All I need is 1 more. That's all. Just 1 more.
Well, here I am.